Hi children, hope you are all in the pink of your health. Are you all regularly washing your hands with soap? Cover your nose and mouth properly while wearing mask. While sneezing and coughing also, cover your mouth and nose. Don't go out of your home unnecessarily. Okay, now we shall revise the remaining part of lesson 1 in this class. The lesson topic is nutrition in plants. In last class, we revised autotrophic mode of nutrition. Hope you all remember. Today, we will revise another mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. You all know humans and animals depend on plants for food. In the same way, plants also depend on other plants for their food. Such type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Under this heading, we are going to see 4 topics. Plants that depend on other plants for their food or nourishment are called parasites. Why they depend on other plants? Because they do not have chlorophyll. Example, Cuscuta. Can you see in this picture a yellow color climber like thing that climbs on other green plant? Yes, that is called Cuscuta. You would have seen in your surroundings itself. This Cuscuta climb on other green plants, and the plant on which it climbs is called host. Cuscuta deprives, that is, absorbs the nutrients from its host for its survival. So, this Cuscuta is called as parasite. It is also called as amarbel. As the Cuscuta absorbs the nutrients from its host, it comes under parasite. Have you seen any plants eating insects? Yes, there are some plants eating insect and digest them. It may be of green or of some other color. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. Here you see the picture of an insectivorous plant called pitcher plant. Okay, it is also green in color. Why can't it prepare its own food? Why is it eating insects? Even though it is green in color, it grows in soil where nitrogen is absent. Nitrogen is also essential for plants' growth. Hence, from the digested insects, plants get its nitrogen for growth. Now, let us see how it traps insects. In this plant, can you see the tip of the leaf is modified as pitcher? Pitcher means nothing but jar or flask-like. Inside the pitcher, digestive juice is present. Thinking this digestive juice as honey, the insect will sit on the digestive juice. At that time, the lid present at the mouth of the pitcher closes and engulfs the insects and digests it. In this way, the plant traps the insects. Another example for insectivorous plant is Venus flytrap. In this also, because of its attractive color, insects are trapped and digested. Mode of nutrition in which organisms take in nutrients in the form of solution from dead and decaying matters are called saprotrophs. And this mode of nutrition is called saprotrophic nutrition. Have you seen fluffy umbrella-like structures growing on rotting wood during rainy season? It is also an example of saprotrophs. If you keep bread for days together, you can see some black or green patches growing on them. These are nothing but fungi. What they will do means, they will secrete digestive juices on that piece of bread and convert it into a solution. Then they absorb the nutrients from them. Fungi also grows on pickles, leather and moist places that are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. Some organisms live together and share shelter and nutrients. This type of relationship is called symbiotic relationship. In simple words, give and take policy. For example, in your daily life, you'll have some dealings with your friends sometimes. For example, if you say, if I give you the pen now, you have to show me your homework. Like this, will you talk or not? Such relationship of both getting benefits from each other is called symbiosis. Here you can see the picture of an insect sucking nectar from the flower. Here how both are benefited? The insect gets honey from the flower as food, and while the insect is sucking the honey, the pollen grains in the flower stuck to the insect's body, and when the insect visits another flower, it helps in cross-pollination. In organisms like lichens, fungi and algae live together. In this, algae have chlorophyll and fungus is a non-chlorophyll plant. In this relationship, the fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae, and the algae in return prepares food and provides it to the fungus. Another example of symbiotic relationship is the root nodules present in leguminous plants. In roots of plants such as gram, peas, moong and other legumes, rhizobium bacteria will be seen. This bacteria converts atmospheric nitrogen into a soluble form to the plants, as plants cannot absorb nitrogen from air. They need nitrogen in soluble form. This is done by this rhizobium bacteria. In return, plants provide food and shelter to the bacteria. Thus, they have a symbiotic relationship. This association is of great significance for the farmers. They do not need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil. After harvesting, the soil will become nitrogen deficient. To replenish this nutrient, leguminous plants can be grown, and it helps farmers also to enrich the soil. Hope you all understand the heterotrophic mode of nutrition well. Shall we start to continue the classwork? Okay. In the last class, we have completed 7 question and answers. Is it not? Now we shall start with the 8th. Name the following. A. A parasitic plant with yellow, slender and tubular stem. Answer: Cuscuta. B. A plant that has both autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Answer: pitcher plant, Venus flytrap. C. The pores through which leaves exchange gases. Answer: stomata. 9th one. Choose the correct answer. First, Amarbel is an example of. Options are autotroph, parasite, saprotroph, host. The answer is option 2, parasite. Now the second one. The plant which traps and feeds on insects is. The options are Cuscuta, China rose, pitcher plant, rose. The answer is option 3, pitcher plant. Third one. Which part of the plant takes in carbon dioxide from the air for photosynthesis? The options are root hair, stomata, leaf veins, sepals. The answer is stomata. Fourth, plants take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere mainly through their options: roots, stem, flowers, leaves. The correct option is option 4, leaves. Next, 10th one, match the following. Divide into two columns, and in the right side, the question part is chlorophyll, nitrogen, amarbel, animals, insects. The answer part: A. Bacteria, B. Heterotrophs, C. Pitcher plant, D. Leaf, and E. Parasite. The answers are 1. Chlorophyll, and the correct answer is option D. Leaf. Second one, nitrogen. The correct match is option A. Bacteria. Third, amarbel. The correct option is option E. Parasite. Fourth one, animals. The correct option is option B. Heterotrophs. Fifth one, insects, and the correct option is option C. Pitcher plant. 11th one, mark T if the statement is true and F if it is false. First one, carbon dioxide is released during photosynthesis. Answer, false. Second, plants which synthesize their food by themselves are called saprotrophs. The answer is false. Third, the product of photosynthesis is not a protein. Answer, true. Fourth one, solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. Answer, true. 12th one, why do farmers grow many fruits and vegetable crops inside large greenhouses? What are the advantages to the farmers? Answer, greenhouse provides favorable conditions for fruits and vegetable crops. Advantages of the greenhouse: protects the crops from the unpredictable weather conditions, protects from birds and animals. 13th one, what is symbiosis? Explain with an example. Answer, symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between two organisms. Example, lichens is a symbiotic association between algae and fungi. The fungus provides shelter, water, and minerals to the alga, and in return, the alga prepares and provides food to the fungus. 14th one, how are nutrients replenished in soil naturally and artificially? The answer is, naturally, nutrients are replenished in the soil by leguminous plants, and artificially by adding fertilizers and manures. Thank you, children.